And welcome back, where the Orange County Fire Authority is on today. Shane, we've had you on before. We've gone out and interviewed you.
Yes.
And you sent us some pictures of the next class, I guess, right?
That's right.
Are they ongoing right now, or have they graduated?
They will graduate on the 9th, so next week.
Very
Academy
good.
41, yeah, and then on that heels, Academy 42 will be starting.
Wow.
So yeah,
that is fantastic.
Things are
How many
moving on.
recruits this time?
So we started with 40, and we finished with 38.
Oh, not bad.
No, very
Yeah,
good.
that's a very good percentage.
Yeah, for sure.
How long does it take for them to be?
16 weeks for the training part during the academy.
And after that happens, from the graduates, then they go out on probation for about a year?
That's correct.
That
so we'll send them out on the 11th. They'll start out under the floor on the 11th, and they'll have a 6-month rotation. So they'll go to one station for 6 months. They'll take a 6-month probationary test, and then follow to another position for another 6 months. And at the end of that 1 year, they'll take their final year, which will make them vested firefighters with Orange County Fire.
That is fantastic. We got some photos here, of course, and this is up in the main headquarters in Tustin. We've been there before, as you know, and you've set up different scenarios here, haven't you?
That's correct, and it's just to we're having less and less fires, so the training with live fire is extremely important to. To build their skill and to enhance their training so that they're well prepared to serve the citizens of Orange County.
And they also take classes, right?
That's correct.
In class, and then they go out later on in the day?
That's correct. It's a mix of didactic in the classroom setting as well as hands-on training. It's a combination of both.
Do they go through, as far as, obviously this type of training, but once they get to a certain point, can they maybe specialize in something like becoming an engineer?
Absolutely.
How does that work?
Absolutely. There's through Orange County Fire, we have a variety of different avenues that you can get involved in. Being from urban search and rescue with our FEMA team, to hazardous materials, to being a paramedic, also with our air operations program. So there's a variety of specialties that they can get involved in. Typically, like you said, that doesn't happen until after their first year. But we encourage them to, for their entire career, to continue to educate themselves and to continue their education and training, because things are constantly evolving out there, and it's to their benefit as well as to the communities we serve for them to continue that education throughout their entire career.
Yeah. What's the requirement for them to get into the academy?
The minimum requirement is 18 years old and a high school diploma or GED, but that's the minimum. The stuff that we're seeing that the recruits are bringing into, I mean, many have a bachelor's degree, if not a master's degree. They come as a paramedic. Most of them come from other agencies. We call Orange County Fire Authority a premier destination or a premier fire department. We attract many, many firefighters from other agencies. So it's not uncommon for us to have someone that's been a firefighter in another municipality for several years, and then to come over to our agency. The Orange County Fire Authority has lots to offer. Like I mentioned, the different programs that we have. We have a variety of stations. We have lots of diversity, which typically as firefighters, we like to do different things. We don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over. So that's why Orange County Fire Authority is able to attract so many overqualified, highly qualified, highly skilled firefighters from other agencies.
When they come from other agencies, maybe they've had several years of service, do they have to go through the training?
Yes, that's correct. Nothing changes. They still go through the same 16-week academy as if they had no experience.
Wow. Because you want to train them in the way that you do things, right?
Absolutely, that's correct.
But like you said, we have a premier fire department.
Yeah.
So they're willing to spend the time for 16 weeks because they know there's so many opportunities, like Shane said. And they're happy. They come here and they spend the rest of their careers. I mean, we have 30-plus year careers in the fire service if you stay healthy and continue to work out and stay in good shape. And so they're willing. How many did you know out of the 38? How many came from another department, roughly?
There's out of the 40, the 38 that we're going to graduate, there's a total of 4 that have no fire experience. So they've either come from the military or some other diverse background. So the other 34 of them have some type of fire service background, whether that was full-time to reserve. Several of them came off of our hand crew, so it was an internal. They came, we have a hand crew program. And they come with a different skill set because of their wildland background, which is always a huge asset to our agency.
That is wonderful. And you've even talked as much experience have you had, you take ongoing training yourself.
Right, you always have to learn. As soon as you think you know it all, that's when you're going to get seriously hurt, hurt your crew, or it's time to move on.
Yeah.
Because we're always learning. Things are changing, the chemicals, what's in material, just how homes are built and how structures are built. So these guys constantly train, and then every month we have to do at the station level 20 hours of ongoing training. So basically, when our 10, 24-hour shifts, we work a month, we're supposed to do 2 hours of training every shift at least. Just to stay up, to make sure when you call, when Mrs. Smith calls, she wants to be rescued, no matter if that's a medical emergency or from a fire.
Right, right. And you've talked to you've told us yourself how you do that.
Right.
And keep things ongoing. Well, it's a wonderful training program, as this is from, we were up there, I think about 1.5 years ago.
It was Academy 39.
Right. Yeah.
Shane has taught a number of our academies. How many academies have you done?
This is my 3rd as a coordinator, and then I was an instructor in Academy 36, so this is my 4th academy.
Nice.
Yes.
And in between, you go back out into the field?
Correct, exactly.
Yeah.
Go back out to the fire station.
It's a wonderful facility. And I remember when I was talking with you when we were up there, you folks have pretty much outgrown that facility. I mean, it's not that old, but...
Correct.
Yeah.
Due to the size of our agency, there's just not enough square footage for training. In an agency our size, we have multiple things happening at one time. As we talked about, the field, the firefighters that are out in the field, they have their training that they have to get in. So having that occur there, plus a fire academy, plus an engineer's academy, their drill ground gets really small. So yeah, we definitely have outgrown it. It's a fantastic facility. It'd be great to have another location to just help increase our ability to continue having the training programs.
Yeah, definitely. Well, maybe that'll happen. There's certainly space here. Out at the Great Park, that would be a perfect area, right?
That'd be great.
Among the other things that you folks do is this time of the year, the Spark of Love Toy Drive that many years ago was started with ABC Channel 7, and they really affiliate themselves with firefighters across Southern California, right?
Right, so your residents could bring an unwrapped toy to any fire station in the city, or any fire station if they're at a store and they're buying something or going to their grandkids' homes or relatives' home, they could stop at any fire station, drop it off. So last year alone, we had over 150,000 toys that were donated right here in Orange County, and they were distributed to families in need. And those toys stayed in Orange County.
Yeah, that is really nice. People can bring these over to any fire station?
Yes, so we have big bins, so Station 22, Station 57, Station 19, any of the stations around here, you could drop them off. The firefighters will gladly accept them and put them in a bin. If you want to tour the fire station or see the fire engines or the fire trucks, they'll show you them. And then also, if you need sandbags, we have sandbags at the fire station. Every fire station has sandbags. Station 22, right around the corner, has sand available too. So the firefighters will gladly help you fill sandbags if you need them.
And we were talking beforehand that this time of the year, you're seeing a lot of slip and falls because people are walking around their homes. It's colder out. They might have on slippers that are kind of worn down, or socks or something like that. More throw rugs might be out there, and you got to be careful.
So we're seeing right now a couple things. People are hanging up their Christmas decorations, so they're climbing up on ladders. And we just got to make sure you have somebody hold those ladders and don't overstretch. As soon as you overstretch, you have an easier chance of falling. So just come down, move the ladder a few feet or so. And then also, again, the slips and falls at homes. The throw rugs they get crinkled up, and you don't realize it because you might be pushing something, and then you walk by a little later and you trip. Or you go from the carpet to tile or a wood floor, and you have your socks on. You're trying to stay warm, and then you slip. So be extra careful. Make sure you wear slippers that have some grip on the bottom of them.
Yeah, definitely. I was telling them that's happened to me before. Just walking around the house.
But this collaborative effort is from all the fire departments throughout Southern California, and as well as ABC. What a great partner they have with all this. And again, those toys. So last year, in the 5 counties that participated in this, close to 500,000 toys were donated. Wow. And but Orange County here, it's actually 150,381 toys were donated just last year alone in 2014.
Yeah, that is really nice. And it's very easy to help out to do. Just go somewhere and you know, get a couple toys and bring them over. And it really helps out. Also sports equipment, we want to mention too.
Right.
Yeah.
Baseballs, basketballs, footballs.
Yeah, all that stuff.
And it's great. I mean, Shane's been with us for years, and he's a captain paramedic. And you get great joy when somebody comes by the station.
Absolutely, and this is something actually in my own family. My kids actually just brought it up the other day that, hey, toy drive started, we need to go out and get the toys for the kids.
Yeah.
So it's a great way to get the family together, and it's always better to give. There's such a joy in doing that.
Yeah. What station do you work out of?
I'm currently assigned to Station 29 is where I'm going to go back to in Dana Point.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if somebody wants to visit Shane, you can go out there.
Or at the helicopter. He works on the helicopter as well.
Yeah, and that's another thing that we went out and did one day, and it's just an absolutely, as you said, it's probably the elite helicopter team in the state, right?
For sure, and with now on the weekends we have our paramedic rescuer on there, so we're able to provide ALS immediately to anybody that needs to be rendered ALS care.
Yeah.
So that's a fantastic addition to our services. It just adds a greater, reduced amount of time to our responses to getting care to those out in the hills that need rescue.
Yeah, and as Steve, as you have said, this year coming up, why we still have, you know, in the fire danger season, and that'll continue, but we're going to see as we get into probably January and February, the deluge of rain that we could be getting, and of course in the hillside, especially where they had some fires up there could be all kinds of problems.
Right, so like Jeff talked about on just a few days ago, it's still extremely dry out there.
Yeah.
So if we do have a fire, we're going to see rapid growth because we haven't had enough rain to saturate the fuels.
Yeah.
And we're still going to have some wind events. And when the wind's blowing, when you have a fire that starts and then you have wind that's behind it, it quickly grows and it could threaten homes. So we're not out of the fire danger yet. That's why these firefighters that are starting on December 11th, this is great timing for still fire season, as well as El Nino. So we're thinking late December, January, through possibly some time in March, we're going to have more significant rain than we've had. It might not be heavy downpours, but it's going to be a continual steady rain where the hills are going to be saturated. And that's where we're going to have problems, especially in the burn areas.
Yeah.
Above Silverado Canyon there, we had a 1,000-acre brush fire back in September of 14, which both of us were on at the time. And if that hillside gets saturated, we've already seen mud and debris flows. But we could have, and that's what happens in these areas. It's usually not, when we have these major landslides and mudslides, it's not when it's raining, it's as the hillsides get so saturated and the vegetation is either dead or dying or is absent because the burn scar, the burn areas, there's no vegetation to hold the hill.
Right.
Once they get saturated, then they just give.
Yeah, so hopefully that, you know, we want the rain, but we want it kind of in continuous small stages. That would be the best, right?
Absolutely.
I got to congratulate Steve. We got a photo here. Look at this. This is Steve with his dad and his brother, because you got an award. Tell us about this. You were the EMT Paramedic of the Year for the state, am I right?
Yes. Every year, the California EMSA department awards a number of life-saving awards and just different accolades. And just through my job as the PIO, I was able to recognize a number of people over the last couple of years. And then they've seen stories about drowning prevention, about fire prevention, about drinking and driving and not texting. And so this year, I was nominated, and I won the award this year. I'm still an active paramedic, but you had to have all these criteria, and then so I was very, very humbled and honored by this. And
in true fashion, I know you sent something out, but you also wanted to make sure you honored other people who got the awards.
Well, Paul Holliday. For last year, Dr. Miller was the medical director of the year. And for Orange County Fire Authority. This year, Paul Holliday and then Brandon Chaston from the Orange City Fire, they were vacation separately in desert.
Palm Desert.
Yeah, Palm Desert, right, in Palm Desert at a resort there, and there was a little boy that was pulled out of the water lifeless, was not breathing, did not have a pulse. And so even though Paul and Brandon didn't know each other, they both immediately went over there, took the child from the mom and started CPR. And then when the firefighter paramedics arrived, eventually they were able to get a pulse back, and this child, this 3-year-old boy, made a full recovery.
Wow.
Because of their quick actions. And now they're friends. Brandon and the Holidays Chestons are friends now, and it just neat. So they were up there as well. And just some great stories of firefighters from on helicopters doing some incredible things to some great rescues. And it just, we have an amazing job. We have the opportunity to be there when somebody's life is threatened or in danger, or it's their worst day of their life. And we're fortunate we have a profession where we can help people.
Yeah, well, congratulations to you and everyone who's involved. Not only the people that got the awards, but really throughout California. We have a great firefighting force, paramedics, the people who go out and to the brush fires, the hand crews that go out there and put their lives on the line,
right,
is just incredible, and it really is. So we thank all of you, and you know, I think one of the best ways that you can thank them and help is with the Spark of Love, because they appreciate you coming by with some toys or sports equipment or whatever it might be. You go by and say hi, and you're helping everyone out, and they like that too. They have they have good time. So 22 you can go down to, and or maybe to 29 if you want to.
We got to talk about space heaters, because that's going to be our campaign for next week.
Okay.
So just careful with your space heaters.
Yes.
They're great, but keep them away from bedding, blankets, anything combustible.
Yeah, you make a very good point with that, because those get extremely hot, the radiate. There are some safer ones you can get nowadays, which I would certainly recommend.
Right.
The old style where you just plug in, and usually if they do tip, they'll go off.
Right.
But still, they get so hot. I mean, basically, it's like you have an open toaster is what it is.
Correct.
And if you have something close by, you can have some problems.